Yeah, so we were just talking about doing the Zoom shows and stuff. Here's my thing. I asked someone the other day, I was like, when's the last time you performed? My last time was March 14th. I remember it was a great show, whatever. That was it. I asked the person, they said, oh, I did like a Zoom show a couple weeks ago. I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't ask.
Right.
If I ask when you get laid, don't tell me when you jerked off. You know what I mean? It doesn't count. That's not the same thing. So it's like, I know you've done some Zoom stuff. We were just talking about it before we hit record here. You were kind of sharing the reasons why it feels a little weird and different. I need a connection. And also, to me, it feels forced. The whole thing feels forced. They wouldn't have normally done that. When we do fundraisers, comedy shows, and sometimes you could catch a great audience, but a lot of times that audience is like, well, we're here for the fundraiser. And they either could like allow themselves to have a good time or just go, well, I don't need to laugh. I donated money and I don't like this at all. It's that forced crowd that I don't feel like dealing with right now when I'm not in a groove. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was it was interesting to see. I saw one comic pretty much like tell stories, and then one comic I saw do crowd work pretty much off of the gallery. And I got to be honest, like I was like, oh shit, like he's killing it. He only did one joke of his, but it's a weird setup because if you're watching it on your couch on your TV and I'm making fun of somebody, you got to get up, you got to hit the gallery button. You know what I mean? Like it was. So that was, I don't know.
Well, listen,
I got nervous.
I like doing crowd work, but like, I'm not going to shit on a man's couch. Like, that's your couch.
That's exactly what Derek first. There was a guy his name was Rusty, and he had no shirt on, and he was on the couch.
Oh, he wanted it then. All right.
Yeah, and when Derek comes in, Derek is just looking at everybody, and he's like, yeah, see, if somebody told me that there was a guy named Rusty who's going to be with no shirt, that's exactly what I would think it would be. And I mean, the guy was, part of it. It was like, you have to time like the pausing of like jokes. That shit sucks. I didn't like that at all.
Well, Derek's good because Derek goes, well.
Right, exactly.
If I knew there'd be a guy
right.
named Rusty.
Right.
And then for 5 hours, come on, Derek, come on. Everybody's doing an hour. But like, I don't know. I'm anyone wants to, any way comics have to get through this shit. If that helps you, fine. That's not for me. I decided I was going to take advantage and work on things that I didn't already know how to work on. I never had the time to like learn Zoom or build my Patreon or work on the podcasting or other things like that. I already know how to do stand-up. When this is over, I'm not going to have problems. I'm going to. Right. I have notes written down. I'm going to hit open mics like I always did. I'm going to work out new shit. I'm not worried about any of that. That will click. I figured why do I need to work on it? And also, why do it wrong? If I'm riding a bike and they say it's easy, like riding a bike, Zoom seems like you're riding the bike backwards. And I don't want to ride the bike backwards because that's a weird connection. I need you to laugh. I need you right there. I need to be in the room, not just for the laughs and the energy, but to know that you give a fuck. I get mad when someone's texting. You're sitting on your couch. You can look off to the side and look at your wife to show her tits. I can't fight with tits.
Yeah, I did it. I needed to see it. Like when I didn't want to do it at first. I remember talking to Chris about it, and I was just like, everybody I know, when people I know come see me at a show, I don't even look at them. I kind of like just deal with everybody else. And here now they're just staring, and I was like, so I wanted to do to experience it, but like, no, it was nowhere near my comfort zone or anything like that. Like,
yeah, and then you're overthinking your act. Like,
yeah,
doing my act like this would be weird. It really weird. It would feel. I like standing on stage. I had Mike Keegan on, and he was like, no, he stood up and he did his thing, and he goes, after 5 minutes, it felt like his act. I go, yeah, but like, I wouldn't feel right. I need to be on a stage, walking around, pacing, staring at people, getting ready to pounce, all that. I don't need to be in my room doing that. It's like, that's weird.
Yeah, that was the part that really fucked me up, was that I thought it was going to be more like, all right, we're doing 10 minutes, and it's an experience for us, for them. It's going to be great. And then the comic that went before me, like Brian Głowacki, like, because Brian does Facebook Live, his comfort level on this is completely different. Like he was telling stories, and I'm literally like watching it from my like, holy shit, I don't have any material. I didn't want to do material because a lot of people already knew it. So I ended up just talking about like what was going on in my life, which was good. Got some jokes out of it, but I was like, yeah, I'd rather just be in front of the crowd.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean,
These things are nice. Like I think this is cool for the quarantine is like comics talking to each other or different things like that.
Oh, I'll never have people at my house again. I didn't realize I could do it. This is fucking great. I don't have to have shitheads on anymore. I don't have to have the 5 people that don't mind driving to my house. I can have real. I've had better guests now doing this. I just had Bob Levy on. I
saw that.
I had Dave Landau on. I've had E-Rock, who used to be on Opie and Anthony. I've had a lot of good people, fun people on that I've gotten to know. And also guys like Drew Dunn. I've had Travis Steele, a bunch of like local fun guys too, New England guys. And it's just been fun to be able to chat with them. And I know that it feels like we're going outside. One day I did 3 podcasts on one Saturday, and I felt like I visited with friends, and I didn't leave my fucking room.
That's funny. Yeah.
And I think that's how I'm supposed to live. I think I'm okay like this. I don't think I need to be around people anymore. I'm good. I'm good. I do miss some people. It'd be fun to go to a show and see you there and hang out in the back and make fun of the other people and shit. But we could do that here. We could do it.
Yeah.
Get a second Zoom to watch the other Zooms and hide in the back and shit. I'm fine with that.
That was my favorite part of the show. After the show, we did like the Zoom gallery where it's like a big Brady Bunch shit. And it was like me and Brian with everybody that watched the show. And it was just so, I had so much fun doing that because it was like extremely, like you're making fun of this person there, everybody could hear it. That I enjoyed that part. I was like, I would do that. I would pay for to do that. But the actual performance it's different.
I mean, I get it too. It's also, as comics, we're not making any money. If someone's going to offer you a couple bucks to do it, it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
And it's just so, and I get why what'd you do it for Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did one for Ryan, one for Joe Cook, and he's out of like New York.
Joe Cook?
Not Joe Cook.
Yeah, Joe Cook is not out of New York. Joe Cook's out of like the one reggae part of West Haven that stinks.
Big Mo Cook. He's.
You can say
he's out of Boston.
Any black man, like, him. Big Mo Cook from Brooklyn. Which one? That I ate. They all book Kenny Ortega for no reason. Like, why not? Just, hopefully you'll get me a ha. And we'll get it there. It'll be fine. But
actually, Kenny did the show the week after me.
Real quick, you did a Zoom Black Room?
Yeah.
What's that?
That is exactly.
Now I would do that. I would do a Zoom Black Room. They're all late.
So, all right.
Are you late on Zoom?
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. So Ryan does it, and like, Ryan and Brian have some kind of organization to it where it does feel like, all right, next up, here it is. But the Urban Room.
For 2 potheads, they are 2 of the more responsible potheads I know.
It's funny though. So then we like when we started, like when we were doing it with the people afterwards, it was just like I don't know. It was difficult. It was different. But they were organized. But the Urban Room heckled. Yeah, like as soon as the Urban Room, it was so funny. The Urban Room, I was watching the show because there was only 11 people there. So I come in and I'm just laughing because, they're going full blown like, all right, let's give it up for Darren Rivera. So I started talking and I'm making them laugh. And after like 10 minutes, he's like, all right, Darren, give us something like 10 minutes of your material. And I'm like, for what? Like, I just made everybody laugh. You only pay me $6. Like, I'm not going to, this is it. Like, this is as far as we're going. Like, and it was like, but I had more fun doing the Urban Room than I did the other room because it was just, they got their money worth. They were like involved.
You're not going to be funnier than a fat black lady on her own couch. Like, that's her place. She sits there and she snipes her kids. She makes fun of her husband.
Yeah.
You're going to beat that. If you see a Medea in the crowd, I'm leaving. Good night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat you.
That was the thing. The comic's wife, she took over the show. She was hilarious. And I was like, she's destroying everybody. No background whatsoever.
Doesn't give a fuck. Won't mute herself. You can't control that. And I get why club owners and bookers and all want to keep going. They want to keep their name out there and all that. They want to keep the comics. And some of them are comics. I understand it to a point. But weirdly enough, in devil's advocate, if you're showing how easy it is to do it this way, some people might want to stay this way. And now clubs will, people are like, I don't want to go out. People are going to be squeamish. Some people are going to be scared to go out. And even when they do get to go out, they're not going to be able to drink. They're not going to be, because they have masks on, half of them. You can't fucking mask minimum. You can't do shit. The club can't make any money. You can't do anything that way. And even if you are allowed to, I think they should do it back in the day. Remember smoking and non-smoking sections? They should have mask and no mask sections. A plexiglass right in the middle of the room, like a hockey plexiglass. And you on one side, if you don't mind coughing and shit, and you can drink and have fun. The other side, you wear a mask, you be scared, and you go over there. And you can still get your comedy. Either way, that's the only way you can make any money. If not, if you're going to do 25% capacity, no drinks, no food, they're not going to be able to pay us. They're going to ask us all to do favors. The clubs are going to go out of business. And if they're going to go, well, we made some money off this, let's do this again. Let's offer that. I don't want this to become the new thing. So to me, when everyone started doing it, they're like, look how easy it is. Look what we can do. And I'm sure there's somebody running a Zoom bringer right now. And getting like that. Oh, you know there is. Some asshole doing a Zoom bringer, tricking folks, making them pay to be on the show, or making them pay for their Zoom subscription. You hook this up for me so I can get 100 people.
Nothing worse than a fucking Zoom bringer crowd.
Oh my
like,
God.
not only that you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there in your own house. You're just like, I fucking hate this kid. Like,
it's like you're supposed to bring 4 people. Then you see like a baby on the Zoom. Like, what the fuck? It's like, there's no age limit. You can bring anybody you want.
Yeah. I definitely don't want this to be the future. I mean, I agree with you. Like, it does open up. Like, someone's going to blow up out of this. You know, someone's going to take the time.
Sounds like Brian Glowacki's going to be the next big star. Brian Glowacki's the next big Zoom star.
Yeah. I mean, it's just too much. You got to, but someone's going to pick up on it. You know, these people are watching shit. You know, before it used to be like, oh, don't do a video longer than a minute. Now you could do 4-minute videos, 3-minute videos, because people are watching them.
Kinda.
You know,
kinda.
Some people shouldn't. Some people shouldn't. I agree on it.
Like a lot of people, a ton of people started doing podcasts because of this, and I'm kind of happy they did, because it did show that the people that could do podcasts, that were working on it, knew what they were doing. A lot of them failed quickly or just got bad. They thought, oh, I could just do it because I'm home. And then just start throwing them out there. The same people, the 8 million who went to Instagram Live and just said, I'm going to start talking live. Like, you don't know how to talk live. You don't know how to interact with that kind of audience. You don't know what you're doing. You're burying yourself. And bookers are also sitting at home doing nothing. And now they're watching this. And they're going, oh, that guy's not funny. That's weird. That's their memory of you. It's like when you send in a clip your first year into a booker, and you're like, dude, wait, you're not ready. Now you're on here doing dumb shit. It stays. This is on the internet forever. You could bomb at a fucking show. You and I could go fucking do a Franco show and bomb and shit, and then no one's gonna know we bombed. We'll get off. We'll dust it off. We'll do it again. We do a Zoom show. That shit's recorded. It's out there. It's on the internet. It's in the cloud. You're just stinking in your house. People making fun of your background. Your background stinks. You don't have a good background game. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't have a background.
It's funny though, because like a lot of the comics that I, are not doing anything. Like Marshall Brandon just started doing something. You're doing this stuff, but like a lot of the comics that I really enjoy working with or started with, they're not doing it as much unless they already were doing something. But the comics that didn't have anything, those are the ones I feel like that are reaching for any. Hey, I'm sitting in the corner and I'm talking every day for an hour, and I'm like, I actually have people that want me to do that, but I couldn't picture doing that. Like, why are you okay with doing that? Like,
because they're delusional. Delusional people do that stuff. You know what? I wouldn't do another reason why I wouldn't do Zoom stand-up comedy, because I'd be bad at it. I wouldn't be funny. I wouldn't. I mean, I would be serviceable. I'm not saying I would bomb. I wouldn't feel it. They would feel that I didn't feel it. I wouldn't be into it. They wouldn't be into it. And I would end up yelling, shitting on them. Like, fuck you. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing right now. You're watching, you loser. Dude, go jerk off. Would you finish Pornhub? What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, I couldn't do that shit. I'm not going to do my bits. My name looks like potatoes. Fuck, I'm not doing bits.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing too, that like fucked with, like, I mean, you know more than anybody, like when I get nervous, I get very defensive on stage. So like the more nervous I was getting, the more I was like, I'm going to hurt someone. I went after my mother. Like I was throwing all this shit, and my mother was talking in the gallery, and I was just like, all right, let's address her. Then I went after her because I was just like, I had nothing. Like, I'm like, what do you want me to talk about? I'm not going to go. Someone's like, don't do your material, or why don't you do the shower joke in the shower? And I'm like, no, I'm okay.
Oh my God. Don't listen to that. Who the fuck said that?
I was
don't
like, no,
listen
okay.
to that person.
I'm like, no, I'm all right. I was like, the part that I love about comedy is, like you said, like afterwards or while the show is going on, what's going on in the green room with us. I hated the fact that when the night was over, just closing the laptop and it was done. Like, I was like, no ride home to rethink the material. I was like, what the fuck did I say? I didn't like that feeling at all. Like, I was like, shit, I'm already home. I'm in my sweats. I was like, did I even perform today? But
Listen,
like, it was.
This is going to sound selfish. This is going to sound selfish, but you're going to get it. You're one to admit to this too. Listen, we love comedy. We love making people laugh. Yeah, whatever. That instant gratification of when the show's over and people come up to you and you can see that you've changed their feelings, that you've made them feel good, that they want to embrace you because you did something. That's a high I can't get off this podcast. That's a high I'm not going to get off Zoom when I close the fucking laptop. That's not a high you get anywhere else. That is a high you only get when you walk off a stage. You know you fucking did great. They tell you did great. They want to fucking hang out with you. They want to know you because of the shit you just did. That's the only time you and I are hot girls. That's the only time. We're not hot girls anywhere else. We can't do it on Zoom. If someone hits you up after, like on the download, that's creepy after the Zoom thing. I don't want that DM. That girl's lonely and she's seen my bedroom. I just performed in it. I don't need her to see it twice.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't like that at all.
No.
I didn't like that at all.
I need that shit. That's the only time we're the shit. I walked into rooms. When I first started, I remember I went up to Maine one time. Remember Rob Puglisi?
Yeah.
Rob came with me to Maine. We all went to Maine to do some dumb show thing. And we went up there and we walked in and these two like hot girls like bumped into us. I went, excuse me. She goes, don't touch me. And I go, you're going to want to fuck me after the show. And she didn't know I was on the show. I said it and Rob laughed. I went up, I crushed. And the girl's like, you were real funny. I'm like, remember what I said earlier? She goes, oh yeah. I'm like, but it was just like, yeah, I could be that asshole. I could be the mean girl for 1 fucking minute. I can't do that on Zoom.
No, you can't
do that now. No.
Yeah.
And I don't drink. I don't do any of that stuff. But a lot of comics like that would drink after. If you're drunk on Zoom alone performing, that's the saddest thing in the world. Just up there hammered like, who else is drinking tonight? That's so sad. That's an AA meeting. You're not comedy now. You're Zooming it up. You're drunk.
Yeah. I'm still sober. And that's like that. That's another thing too. Like it was, like you said, just that whole feeling of a show. I wanted to drink again. I was like, I don't want to fucking. How long is he doing? Like, he was supposed to do 10, 15. He was at 17, and I was like, what's happening?
How do you like
he closing? I know. I was like, why isn't he closing? I was like, I was only going to do 10 minutes to talk about shopping at Whole Foods. I don't need all this time in the fucking world, bro.
How do you light somebody in a Zoom show?
You just turn them out. That's the thing too. Like.
I'd be texting you, get the fuck off. Like, it's like,
that's
or
right.
The chat, I guess. You could use the chat and be like, get the fuck off.
The future of it as a sound guy is going to be able to, like, mute rooms and let laughter come in, but mute that room when they start talking. Like, you're going to have a guy that's listening to every fucking room. Oh. And that's going to be the future of a fucking sound guy.
That poor fucking guy. The only thing I've been doing with a group of people is I've been teaching for free, just to keep in comedy writing and stuff, a comedy workshop for people in Thomaston, like a theater group. I got hooked up with them with the guy who owns a opera house there. And it's like 8 to 10 people on Wednesdays, ages from 14 to 70. And they're just people who've never done comedy. A lot of them are theater people. And I've been teaching them comedy, like just having fun and doing that.
Oh, nice.
And it's cool. Like I like a class, I have them mute while I'm talking and then let them chat, whatever. And I would talk to the guys like, well, we should charge something. I'm like, well, there's no end game here. With comedy classes and things like that, they're working towards getting on a stage at an open mic. I don't feel right teaching them this when they can't go anywhere with it. I'd rather them enjoy it have fun with it, learn what they're doing. And they're writing jokes, they're learning how to do it. And if they do like it down the road and we open back up and they hit mics, then good. I help some people get into comedy. But if not, what am I going to do? I'm going to have some lady who doesn't know what the fuck. She's never going to use it. She's 65 and she just wants her husband to shut the fuck up. She's going to throw me a couple bucks. No, save your bucks. Buy a new mask for the family. You know what I mean? Get a nice new, go order yourself. Get a little mask. A little mask for you. Here's a little Nick Cage mask for you. Here you go. Get what you got to get.
Mask.
Are you masking it up?
Yeah. I wear a fucking Joker mask. I just started work yesterday. Yesterday was the first day that my restaurant opened up. We weren't doing takeout or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't look forward to comedy opening back up if that is a sign of what's to come when we first open back up, because there's a certain kind of person that goes out when that first day.
Animals.
They're fucking annoying. Like, it's
goddamn animals are coming out.
I was like, I'm gonna get fired. I was like, I've had 2 months away from the service industry. Like, I don't mind serving you, but don't talk down to me. Like, you know what I mean? So like, we've all been quarantined, relax, and it's just like yesterday I was like, I'm done. I'm already done with this shit. I'm already back and done.
Oh, listen, I wasn't out there doing anything, and then I took the retail job at Big Lots, and it's weird how people treat. I was folding T-shirts. We have an area there that has T-shirts. They're like the novelty dumb shirts, like the stupid writing all there, and they were all messy. So I went and folded them. A lady pulled one out from my hand, looked at it, then put it in a different spot, and I just let it go. And then she kept doing that. And I'm literally folding it, putting it in a spot, and she's picking it up, crumpling it up, throwing it somewhere else. Did it like 8 times. And I was like, can I help you find something? She goes, nah, I'm just looking. It's just like, why couldn't COVID kill you? Like, why are you alive? Why are you? There's a lot of nice grandmas out there. There's little kids who will never get grandma gifts ever again. But this bitch, who's not even buying anyone a shirt, it just staring and saying, like a shirt that says, it's like, I'm with my otter boyfriend, and it's an otter holding another otter. I'm like, fucking put it down, otter boyfriend. Get the fuck out of here. I said it on Chaz and AJ, but I've been recognized twice with the mask on, which is fucking. I'm in the area where like I've performed. I'm right in Derby, so I kind of live here, all that.
Yeah.
I had a person come to me and look at me for a while and go, this is going to sound weird, but did you open for Gilbert Godfrey in Seymour? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, what happened? I go, he's in the other aisle.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And she's just like, really, what happened? I'm like, yeah, COVID, bitch. Like, what do you want me to do? There's no work for me. There's no work. We're not going to get, listen, we might get a little bit of work here and there. If clubs open up, they're going to pay someone to get people to come in. And there might be opening acts here or there, but the money's going to be scarce. The amount of people you want to have in somewhere, I think it's going to be shorter shows. I can't see a 90-minute show. You don't need 3 acts. You probably only need 2. You don't really need – and you have to – I don't know if you've seen some of the rules that some of these clubs have put up with, all the shit they have to do just to get running. Like, the host has to keep shit. You have to have, like, basically what they call mic condoms with little plastic bags, whatever, over the mic. If you're hosting, you have to take that off, spray it down, put a new one. And then the new comic, if you brought me up, I have to bring a new one on, put it on. You got to host spray. It's all this weird disconnect. There's all that. They have to have guards near the stage because we spit on people. We know we do. You know we spit on people.
Yeah.
How many you got fired up and you're like, another fucking thing, and then you see it, you're like, oh no, you can see a little spittle come out of your mouth at someone. It hits their drink. They didn't care then. They'd laugh, whatever. Now they'd freak the fuck out. There's so many things. Everybody has to be separated. We joke around when we do comics. Sometimes if they don't have the couches full up front, we're like, oh, that's a weird disconnect. Forget disconnect. Everyone having to be 6 feet apart. You only can do 2 couches, and then all the tables, the way they're set, it's going to be so scarce and weird. The laughs are going to be odd. People feel each other's energy. They're going to be afraid. Mask or no mask, they're going to be afraid to laugh. They don't know what they're doing. It's going to be, everyone's going to be like on a first date. They're going to be all flimsy. They're going to be all clumsy. They're not going to know. They're going to put their arm around it, maybe touch a tit, get scared, pull back. They're not going to know what to do. And it's going to be weird for all of us. And if I have to tell jokes with a mask on, you and I are very similar. We have a lot of facial expressions. You can't see half my shit.
Right.
It's going to be fucking weird. So I think they're going to hire people that draw because even if they're not funny, people are like, I just want to see what they're looking like. What do they have a beard now? Wonder if they have a beard. I wonder if they're Chinese now. Maybe they turn Chinese now. I mean, I would serve, and I would also serve bat at all the clubs.
Right.
I would serve bat. Why not? Have bat soup at all the clubs.
Bat soup.
Bat soup. So much.
Like
Tell me I can't.
A Corona drink and bat soup just to be a dick. Yeah.
That's be a dick. It's come have a Corona. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of Corona's never gonna be sold again.
No, I know. Oh, my buddy came up to me yesterday. He's like, the first person that comes up to me, it was like a meme that says, "Oh, I'll have a Corona, hold the virus." Just leave. Just get the fuck out.
Go. Just go. When's your Zoom show? Because you're killing it right now, dude. Oh, it's that one. I think that now is the only thing that beats when Precious, the movie, came out and ruined calling someone Precious for everybody. Like, there are people that called their daughters Precious, and they're like, what the fuck? I'm a fat black lady? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're my precious little girl. It's like, no, I'm not fat fuck. Corona's the only thing worse. Imagine that name. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Like, we're okay. We're untouchable. We're fine. We're the greatest Mexican beer of all time. We are killing it. Budweiser.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
And meanwhile, back in the Bat Cave, some Chinese guy's chopping down on some turkey cave vulture and eating that and ruining your fucking Christmas.
That's funny. I could see that. It's a funny skit.
Oh yeah, you think that skit would fly?
Oh, wouldn't? No, I wouldn't. But it would. For me, like, meanwhile, the Bat Cave, people were just like, "What are you doing? It's too soon. It's too soon."
That was his name. Too soon. The guy who ate the bat. This one hurt no one. Holy shit! Yeah, that's ruined. I never want to hear the word pandemic again. It's so funny that the word essential has changed. Who knew that having a dream, even though everyone says it's great to chase it, is not essential at all. It is not. Go back to work, losers. Yeah, you and I aren't talking about our comedy. I'm at Big Lots. You're at a restaurant. And no one gives a fuck. Yeah. No one gives a fuck. What was everybody talking about? The nurses? Hooray, you're the greatest. Make another dance video, you fucking twats. Yeah, I don't care. The doctor's doing the work. I've been yelling this every week. I'm sorry. Clap for the doctor. The nurse is the host. The doctor's the headliner. Nobody gives a fuck what the host does. Go back. All you're proving to me is that you have too much free time, you bitch.
No one's talking about the headliner.
Yeah, the headline. He's killing it.
And
he's the doctor.
He's literally killing it and preventing it. He's preventing the death and shit. No, he's all right.
Did you see that? I think it's in. Is it in Portugal? I forget. Or somewhere they're inventing a new a bed in a hospital that folds into a coffin. No joke. So you don't have to touch the body if it dies of coronavirus. Like, there's no more morbid fucking thing in the world than the guy who's like making that transformer. That just makes grandma get closed up into a fucking Russian doll. It's like, what the fuck?
I can't wait for the pompous asshole that is so proud of it. Like, yeah, I got a bunch of them. Like, you know, my dad's in one, my mom's in one now. Like, they're great.
Gene Simmons is selling a Kiss line of coffin beds, just like with a big tongue hanging out of the fucking thing. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great. Oh, what was I looking at? Oh, there's one dumb thing I hear. What was it? Oh, what's your fucking name? I gotta look it up now. See, I had notes for you. People listen to this. I had notes for Darren Rivera, but then Darren Rivera stood me up. Oh. Darren Rivera took a nap. Guess who else took a nap but woke up at 2:50? This guy woke up for you. And then so I put on Twitter, and you'll see it later, I said, Darren Rivera stood me up. I'm in the podcast mood. Who wants to podcast? Then Bobby Tamburo, who's a really funny guy, a guy from Compound Media, he hit me up and goes, I'm in. So I didn't want Bobby. So I used my notes for you to Bobby, and I had a fun one there. There was one that's the one I talked to you about. Have you been watching anything on Netflix?
Yeah, but I haven't seen Tiger King.
Oh, near me either. Fuck that. I watched Have a Good Trip. Have you seen this?
Amazing.
Amazing.
That's the LSD psychedelic one, right?
Yeah, the documentary with all the actors. And
I just watched it twice. I watched it with my roommate. Yeah,
it's fucking great, and it's funny. Like, it's funny to watch their reaction to things. But my favorite person on that is A$AP Rocky. It's just because the way he reacts to it, and when he stops and goes, and I don't know how to not get graphic about this, but when I was getting at it, a rainbow came out of my penis.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized the world is love. Everybody's love. I'm like, that's not love. You're gay.
Yeah.
You're gay. Rainbow is gay. You're gay.
Yeah.
And gay came out of your penis. You Liberace the shit out of that situation. You're gay, Asa.
I mean, that show made me want to do like shrooms. Like,
I thought about it too.
I'm not gonna lie. I did shrooms the first and a half week of quarantine because I didn't take it that seriously. I thought we'd be out for like a couple weeks. So I was like, yeah, all right, making the best out of it. So
the best out of it. You're going through sobriety. You and I both have every minute of our lives has some kind of personal drama with some girl or something.
Right.
We are too old for that shit. I've thought about it, but my mind wouldn't be able to handle it.
Let me tell you, you know how they say you should do it with the right people? I did it with the right people, and I had a blast, and I'm glad. But then we're watching the documentary, and I'm like, I don't know if it's Sting or it's how well this is done, but I really want to do shrooms right now. Like, I was like, I think we should be doing shrooms while we're watching this. And my roommate is just like, yeah, we should fucking do some fucking shrooms. And I'm just like, I mean, we didn't do it, obviously.
Right. I don't want to do mushrooms with Sting, though. He seemed boring. He was boring.
He's definitely the dude that's just like, you constantly have to look over and be like, yeah, you all right? You okay?
Or he's telling you what you've seen and all that. I want to, like, listen, I've told on stage, you've heard it a million times, I have one mushroom story, but that's a good one. I've only tripped 4 times, twice on mushrooms, twice on acid. That was all I've never done it older than the age of 25. And one time I did mushrooms, we were drinking at a pig roast we were having. We drank and I didn't sleep for 29 hours. And then decided to do mushrooms. So it was a disaster. Like my body was, and the way we got the mushrooms too was we're at a party at our house and we had a big pig roast in the back when I was living at Southern Connecticut. And we're in the backyard, and we had a big backyard that kind of winded off to the side. It was behind these bushes. And there was this hippie guy. Me and my buddy were walking by, and this hippie guy was holding mushrooms up. And I look at my buddy, and we're all drunk. We're drinking forever. We drank so much. I sobered up. I got drunk again without sleep. I just kept going, just keg after keg, staying awake with the pig, all that stuff. I walk around the keg. Everyone else took naps. I'm like, no, I got to watch the pig roast. I got to
walk around the pig.
Yeah, holding its head. This is mine. This is my creation. Look what I've created. I walked to the back part, and me and my buddy Pete are walking by, and there's this hippie guy, and he's holding mushrooms up. And I'm like, yeah, I want that guy's mushrooms. I'm like, Pete, you got money? We had all this money. And he goes, yeah, but I don't want to spend our money. I'm like, let's go take it. So I went over to him, and I went, look over there, and drunkenly kind of like clubbed him. And then he fell down. He took his mushrooms. We ran away. We took mushrooms. We came back a minute later, and this guy's like all sad. He comes to me and goes, hey, man, I need your help. And I'm like, hey, dude, sorry. He's like, what? I was going to ask you if you could help me find the guy who took my mushrooms. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know, but I have some. If you'd like some, and I gave him some of his mushrooms, and so yeah, he was happy. He's like, "Thanks, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, I think he went that way." You know, it's like my hands got like my head marks on still. It's like so.
Wait, this is how you met Dan Brown?
No, it's way before Dan Brown.
Okay. This sounds like the beginning of your friendship with Dan Brown.
I clubbed him. I don't think Dan's ever done any hallucinogenics ever. I think Dan just drinks.
Not everybody should.
I would love to see it. I don't think you've seen Dan's animation. Did you see the cartoon things he did of me doing comedy? That's the only comedy I did. He did a thing called Quarantune Comedy, and he had me.
Oh, with Dave Hintz. Dave Hintz, right?
Yeah. And me, I was the headliner.
Yeah, no, I said you and Dave Hintz. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, and Dan host. That was Dan's best hosting job of all times. That was fantastic. He crushed it. But I see. That's what I love. He made it so that's what I know comedy's gonna be like online. That awkwardness where it was just like I would tell a joke and then he would just show the dead room with no noise at all. And it was beautiful how sad it was. I had to record that through this mic. I'm like running jokes I just made up. It felt so fucking weird. But anyway, so we do the mushrooms. We go inside, and this is when the X-Files was on TV every Sunday. And we're all done. Everyone left that party. Everybody's drunk, but we're starting to trip, and not everyone knows we're doing that. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm in the X-Files, and I'm talking with Mulder and Scully. And my friends have told me I'm up, I'm acting it out. I'm literally grabbing people and going, "Where's the alien?" Like just screaming. And my buddy goes into another room alone, and he comes out crying. Big guy, tough rugby player, crying. And everyone's like, what's wrong? He goes, I'm gay. We're like, you're gay? And he's like, I don't know. I just looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought I was hot. So I'm gay. I'm going to have to break up with my girl, and I love her, and I don't want to do this, and I'm gay. And I'm like, it's okay, man, but I got to solve this case. And everyone said it was the funniest thing. Like, I'm trying to help him, but I'm also involved in this alien espionage thing going on, and I don't know what's happening there.
You're already working a double.
Right. I can't help you right now. And then my friend comes down, and he goes, oh, you guys needed a distraction. And he takes his boxer shorts that had all like Looney Tunes characters on it, takes them off, puts them on our dog backwards so the tail sticks out, and makes our dog run around with boxer shorts. And I watched that. I watched the dog run around with boxer shorts on. I thought for 10 minutes, everyone said it was like 40 minutes. I was quiet, but I was focused. But Pete was crying. He's like,
Yeah.
he called his, this is before cell phone. He had to go and call her dorm room and tell his girl, like, I'm gay, and we're gonna break up. She's like, you're not gay, you're tripping balls, you're fine. He's like, yeah, balls, see, I like balls. And it was this whole fucking thing. And then
God, I hope they're together. I hope they're married.
They are married, they have kids. It was perfect.
It's a great fucking story for them. They got a story.
And I woke up upstairs wearing the boxers for the dog. So I don't even know what the fuck happened there. But I had the boxers.
Dogs look at your face.
No, the dog was nowhere to be seen, thank goodness. Like, I didn't wake up with a jar of peanut butter or something. But that was one where that night, I when I closed my eyes, that's when I started seeing all like the fucking like the devil shit and life ending. And I woke up and I went and apologized to people about my life. Not the guy I punched with the mushrooms. But I didn't charge him the next time he came to the party. I'm like, what's up, bro? Come on in for free. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah, dude, you're cool. He's like, dude, first mushrooms, now this? I'm like, yeah, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy.
He looks at you as his best friend right now.
And then I did acid. That was one of the best experiences ever. We were once again at Southern, and we climbed up West Rock right above where the mirror is, where you can see over like the tunnel part. We went. I had same thing. I had a buddy who knew he was like a Sherpa of tripping. You know what I mean? Like he knew what to. He's like, follow me. We'll do this and do that. And it was a wonderful day.
Those are the best people to do it with.
And he's guided us, and he goes, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a walk up the hill because it's supposed to snow tonight, just a little bit. And when the snow's falling, it's gonna feel amazing." And we brought beers, and we brought some friends. We went up. I'm not kidding you. We're sitting on these rocks, looking over the highway, the lights and all that. And I turned around, and I thought I was tripping so bad. I'm like, wait, there's animals watching us. There's deer. There's rabbits. I'm like, it's like a cartoon. And one person who wasn't tripping is like, no, these animals have been watching us. They're being quiet. Animals must have felt people said like they felt like our vibe or whatever it was. We were like so peaceful that animals were chilling around us. We made a little fire and stuff. And then a girl turns to me and goes, can I talk to you for a minute? It's a girl I only kind of knew at the time. And I'm walking over and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of tripping. I don't mean to be a dick, but if I say anything weird, I'm trying to go. She's like, no, it's cool. They told me that. I just thought you'd want to see some boobs. And she pulled up her shirt and showed me her boobs. And I was just like, thank you. And it was nothing else happened. The next day, her and I hooked up. But that night, that's all. And I was like, it just put me at peace. I saw animals in nature. I saw boobs.
Yeah.
The lights and them dancing off the mirror. It was like wonderful. It was an incredible day. We saw a midget earlier. It was a great fucking trip.
I want to do shrooms. I want to do acid right now.
That was acid. Shrooms, I've had the diner experience where, listen to my first album, you'll hear it, where I even make it sound more fun, but that was a bad trip. We were freaking out. Mushrooms have always been bad for me. Acid was good for me.
I did acid twice. I've done shrooms, I think 4 times, maybe 5. First time I did shrooms was really bad. I did an 1/8 to myself because I was eating and I wasn't feeling any reaction and I was getting impatient. So I was like, oh, and I just kept eating. And the next, they were gone. And it was the longest 8 hours of my life. I was by myself. Like, it was horrible.
Forever. Oh. That's like in the documentary. That's the part I felt the most when they're like, you don't feel it, so you do more. Now, with acid, I didn't do that. I trusted people. With mushrooms, I think it's because it was like in a bag and a bunch of stuff. I wasn't going to take another pill of something, the tab or something. I'll trust what they're telling me.
Yeah.
The acid trip started, and I think I've told this on here before, but it started because me and my my buddies wanted to do it, and two of us we were playing rugby, but it was the off season, so we were all playing basketball outside together. And my buddy goes, he wanted to do it around like 6 o'clock. He was smart. He goes, we'll go to the cafeteria first. We're gonna get sandwiches and food and bring it back. We're not gonna go out to the cafeteria later on. We'll have food here. We're gonna go buy beer. He said everything's set up so we would have a good experience. We were going to a party at someone's house, but there was only gonna be a couple people there and music. Everything was he had us covered. But we were gonna play basketball first. And he goes, it takes about a half hour, 40 minutes for it to kick in. You guys are going to be running around, so it might kick in a little quicker. Like, the dude was like an acid scientist. He knew his shit. He got thrown out of the Army in ROTC, and he bought us all this stuff because they paid him off, like, when he got thrown out for failing drug tests. He got the rest of his money. So he was just buying us drugs with his fucking former Army money. And so he comes up to us while we're playing basketball and goes, here, guys, real quick, call us over. And no one else knew that we were playing, that we were just taking tabs. And the two of us are taking it. We're both playing. And we're playing the game, and the game's tied at 11. And now we're going to win by 2. And I can start feeling something. I'm like, how about we just do next shot wins? And they're like, no, play the 2. And I'm like, we're trying to play whatever. And at one point, someone threw me the ball. And I went, hey, Andy, was my buddy who also did. I go, how you feeling? He goes, time to go. And I took the ball, and I punted it into the woods. And everybody, so one person knew what was going on. They're like, all right. And we just walked right upstairs. Went up into there, and my buddy's like, here's a beer. I got you a beer. Have this beer. Enjoy. How you feeling? I'm like, good, whatever. He had some music on. We're hanging. He goes, we're going to go out in a little bit. You're probably sweaty and stuff. You're going to want to take a shower. Just be careful for how long you're in there, but have fun. And I grabbed a couple more beers with me, and I went to the shower. I was in there 5-6 minutes in my head. Boom, boom, boom. The door's nailing. Pat, it's been an hour. We had one of those handicap, like the dorm ones. So I was sitting in a seat. My entire chest was bright red. The rest of my body bone dry. And I had finished 6 beers. I sat there, drank 6 beers, and watered it. But I still felt amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was incredible the entire day. Went to a party, saw a midget dancing to a Doors cover band, and I just watched the midget dance.
A lot of midgets.
I asked him, no, it's the same midget. And I asked him, how long have you been a midget? And he goes, all my life. And I'll never forget that. It was like, it might not be funny now, but in that moment, it was the greatest comeback I've ever heard.
You went to school with a midget?
There was 2 or 3 at Southern.
Oh, really?
There was one that was a little black guy, and his name was Taft. And he goes, shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Taft. He would just, that was his little line. He was great. And we would get high with him sometimes. And, it was great because he'd be in our dorm room, and if someone smelt the weed and the resident director came, we would just give him the weed because you're never going to search a midget handicapped in a chair. So he would just sit on it, and they'd be like, we smell weed. And he goes, it's not weed, it's my medication. And no one knew what midgets had to do back then. So he's just like, I smell like this. They don't know what midgets smell like.
I've always wanted a midget friend, but I always wanted like a midget friend that was just like a fucking ball buster. You know what I mean?
Like a mean one? I don't want a mean one.
Not a mean one. Like, yeah. Like not a mean one. Like just one that is just owns being a midget so much that it's like not even funny to make fun of them because they own you for making fun of them for being a midget. That's how good they are with it. Like,
yeah, but you can't. Every joke you do is, and I don't mean it's the pun, but low-hanging fruit. It's just so easy to do. I don't know. At the end of all you have to do is take your dick out and just go, ha. You don't have this.
Yeah.
Midget. But like, or what if he did? What if he whips out a bigger piece? You're like, fuck, now he's got a bigger piece. I don't ever want a midget friend. I want midget acquaintances, but I didn't want him in my crew.
No, I want
your crew?
Crew, yeah. 100%. 100%. We've known each other for 20 years. You've seen my crew. Yeah. We're missing a midget.
I know. I don't think you are. I think you'd have to lose some other people in the crew. Like
we got a lot. That's all we're missing.
I want an Asian lesbian, not like a hot one, like that looks like a guy, but it's an Asian one. That's a crew. No one knows. If I get in an argument and that person's behind me, you don't know. You don't know if you can fight it. You don't know what to do, and that gives me enough time to get the fuck out of there.
Russ from Sweet James used to be like. He had a thing, like, obviously he's so big, but he always got like skeeved out by midgets. And I don't know if you remember when we were at Sweet James, they were doing the midget convention was supposed to be coming to Hartford.
Midget convention?
Yeah, it was like some kind of like some big convention that was coming to Hartford, that the whole downtown Hartford was going to be filled with midgets. And it never went through, but I remember us doing the open mic. And
imagine being on that committee. Like,
bro, I was with Jerry Willie, and I want to say, who's the kid that Dave Craig?
Oh, we used to shit on that guy.
Yeah, they were there, and I just found out about it. I just got my DUI, and I went on stage, and I was just like, yeah, so we're having a midget convention? Like, and I just was talking about, like, how that was going to be in Hartford. Like, a bunch of midgets. Hartford sucks as it is, but now you're going to factor in thousands of midgets just walking around. Oh, man.
Imagine being in a midget convention. You're a midget, and you're like, all right, I'll go to this convention. Are we going to Vegas? Are we going to fucking
Miami? Are we going to
Miami? Where are we going?
Hartford.
Oh, the insurance capital. Oh, that's fun. Oh, good.
What are we going to do there? Trust me, there's tons of stuff to do in Hartford. Like,
do you like women's basketball? Because we have that. Yeah. You know how scared they would be of Lobo? Like, Rebecca Lobo must look like Godzilla to them. That'd be the scariest fucking thing in the world.
How do you feel about minor league baseball? Are you a fan?
What the fuck is a yard goat? And the yard goat goes, I don't know. What the fuck's a midget? It's like, hey, they fight. Oh, throw out the first pitch. One has to stand on the other one's shoulders to throw it. That'd be great. That'd be the whole state. That would be it. They would fill it up. How many people do you think are in a midget convention?
I don't know. Like, a lot.
What would be the amount that would scare you? Okay, if I see one walking down the street, I'm cool. If I see two, I'm like, whoa, what's this? If I see three or more, I'm running.
No, 20 would freak me out.
Think about it. Think about that.
20 would freak me out.
20's a lot. 20 people coming at you is a lot. 20 midgets, 10 would scare you, Darren. 20's too much.
No, 10 I would be fascinated with 10. 10 I would be like, where are they going? Let's follow them.
I'd be like, they need one more for their football team. Like, what are they doing with 10? 5-on-5? they playing a pickup game. I want to go. I'll ref. I'll be the hoop, I guess, or whatever you guys need. What if it was a midget convention, but they were racist, and it was the lowercase KKK?
Right.
They've all got little pillowcases on their heads, and they're like, "Oh, you're adorable," but you hate black people.
The thought of walking around Hartford and seeing different groups of midgets, like racist midgets, like gay midgets, douchebag midgets.
I've been talking about that.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
I don't like midgets in porn at all. That really freaks me out.
Yeah.
But I would watch. I don't know if it's. I don't want to search it, but I would watch gay midget porn once because that fascinates me.
Once. It would not be once. You would have to watch it again. Like, I got to see this again.
I don't know. It'd be so weird. Like, because, like, they're so tiny. Like, how do they fuck in the butt? And their little mustache, because you know they both have a little fucking.
Their little hands holding onto their ass. Like
just grabbing his shoulders. And he's the face, you know that when they do that cam, like when it's like the anal for the first, and they do the cam where they show the guy going into the girl in her butt, but then they do the other camera on her face, and she's like, like I want to see a midget, that fucking big Warwick Davis head just sitting there going, just, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I'd watch it once.
I'd watch it.
Not straight porn. I'm not some loser. I'm watching gay midget porn.
Right. Can't look away from it.
Are there gay midgets?
There gotta be.
I think you just fuck what you fuck. I don't think there should be any straight. I think you better be fucking you better be bi-curious as fuck if you're a midget. There ain't that many.
Didn't we know a flamboyant midget?
A flamboyant midget. I like how you named it. If there's not a stand-up comic called the Flamboyant Midget, and he's just a giant 6'5" guy.
I got rid of Rice and Bean Joker. It's the Flamboyant
Midget of comedy.
There we go.
Oh my god. Oh, I hope you knew that. That's why you lost gigs. You're like, sorry. Like what? Because I'm gay? It's like, no, dude. Just because. Come on.
It's too much. It's too much. You're a gay midget. You're like, come on, man. You're reaching. Who wants to follow that? You're like,
don't be funny though. The amount of people that would come up to you and you change your name to that and go, I didn't know you were gay. It's like, I'm also not a midget. I mean, it's the joke. Like, why did you believe the gay part? I'm not a midget. I'm a regular sized man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna start hashtagging it and just see how many people fucking come in and chime in.
You know what? That'll be fun, Darren, until we both realize we can't spell flamboyant.
What's hilarious about that is, as you were saying it, I'm Googling flamboyant. I'm like, God, it's such a long hashtag.
Flamboyant is like the Urban Dictionary term for like somebody on fire while they're floating. Yo, he was flamboyant. He's all flammed up, and he was just all buoyancy.
Did you ever see the clip of Patrice O'Neal when he's out of nowhere in his set, he just starts saying words that he can't spell? If his mama's life depended on it, like he's like, if someone was holding a gun to my mom's like head and I had to spell the word right, like restaurant, you know, like. And
what's the word you couldn't do?
Oh, flamboyant might be it. Like flamboyant. You know what?
Oh, I have to check definitely every time I write it. I have to check it every time. If I'm putting an E and not putting an E, every time for some reason that word, I'll do it right or wrong every fucking. But I always have to spell check definitely for some fucking reason.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like that.
That and the N word, I always spell it wrong.
You spell with the R or the A?
I just write black guy. Everyone's like, that's not it. I'm like, I'm not saying it. Darren calls me it all the time, but I'm not saying it.
Still one of my favorite. I said that in a podcast recently. Still one of my favorite things when you're like, okay, all right, relax.
You're like, yeah, what's up, Maya? I'm like, and you, sir? And you. How are you today, sir? I said good day, Edward. I said good day.
Don't make this any more awkward than it already is.
And it is. So, but no, but watching that documentary, you wouldn't do right now. Your job starting, and you wouldn't do acid or anything like that now, right?
Yeah, I would.
You would.
Yeah.
You need like a day off. You need like plans.
Yeah, I mean,
where would you go?
I think in Monterey. I've never been an outdoorsy person. My roommate is, and he's
me either. But I think the one time I did it in the wood, I think in a house I'd overthink. You're right. It has to be good people, not a lot of people.
Yeah, people
I could trust. People that aren't going to bring up any drama. No drama, folks. Anyway, my mind would open up into. I've had a very crazy COVID summer, if you will, and a lot of mental stuff going on, and I wouldn't be able to handle what comes out of me. Might be therapeutic, but not great. I think I need to be out somewhere I can walk around, get a little lost, but still be okay. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't be in a house. I couldn't be in a strange place. I wouldn't want to be near any mirrors. I would rip my beard off probably.
See, that's how I am. I went to the bathroom. I didn't look at the floor. I didn't look at the mirror. That shit freaks me out. But my roommate, he's like, jumps right into it. He's like staring at himself in the mirror. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I get in my own thought. I already, like you said, I agree. Like, I'm too much in my own thoughts as it is. So if I'm going to do a drug like that, I have to be very careful who I'm around, because if I go into a hole, the first time I did shrooms, I was by myself and I went into a hole that I couldn't get out of. And I was just depressed. And then somebody called me to say hello. And I was like, hello? And it brought me like right out of the fucking.
Yeah. Someone cared. And it was just the wrong number, but you didn't care. You're like, all right.
No, it's 5309. No, let's talk.
Are you doing anything? Are you still smoking weed?
Yeah, I stopped drinking. I was on probation. I still haven't drank, and then I started smoking again. And that's, I mean, the most I've done is that I've done shrooms. I mean,
yeah, I don't do anything anymore. I haven't smoked in well over a year, any weed or anything like that. I haven't drank in 4 years. I don't do any fun.
It's been 4 years?
Yeah.
Good shit.
I don't even think about it. It's really not it's one of those things where I just quit and I said, fuck it. I just don't ever I don't miss it. I never liked booze. I never did. I liked how I felt people perceived me when I was drunk. Yeah. I thought people thought I was fun. I thought that was the only time I could be accepted by other people. I thought that was the only way for me to not be the person I didn't like. That was the only reason why I did it. But my God, every time I sipped a beer the first time or took a shot, I was taking like a little kid taking medicine. I was like, I hated the taste. Anyone's like, oh, it's a hot day, I need a cold beer. I'm like, fuck you, that's not refreshing. It's gross. I'd have to hold my nose and chug that first beer. Like I've never once liked the taste, so I don't miss it at all. Because now that I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't like me. People didn't like me because of that. They were also just drunk. They also didn't like themselves. There's a bunch of zombies going around pickling themselves. And I don't like doing that at all.
Yeah, not drinking. I mean, I went 8 months. I stayed sober for 8 months. And then I knew I needed to leave a relationship. And instead of fucking manning up, I started drinking again. The moment I left, I stopped. So it's been I'm going on 9 months now.
Nice. Well, fuck that then. 17 months. Fuck that. Speed bump. Fuck speed bumps. That's fine.
It was a big speed bump. It was when I fucking was with Tom Green. I was like, yeah, fuck, I might have a beer. And then the next day, I was like, yeah, it's my first beer in 8 months. He's like, you decided to drink it yesterday? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, with Tom Green.
I was like, it was Friday. I was like, it was.
He'd have to understand that. Like Tom Green, like that's pretty cool. Like, you know, that's better than it was Caesar Ostrowski or something. You choose Tom Green.
Me and Caesar getting taped.
That's fun to get drunk with Caesar, but you could do that anytime. You don't get to drink with Tom Green. I don't think I'd ever drink again. I mean, maybe if I was like gonna die and I'm like, maybe I want to taste it one more time. I don't know. But I don't think I would. And there's nobody famous that would get me to do that. But I bet
that's the thing, he didn't. Like
I don't mean that. I just mean like in my head. But I think someone famous could offer me weed and I would smoke it.
Right.
I think that could happen. But I just don't want to drink ever again. I probably could get high again. I just don't know if I want to.
I'm honest with it. Like this time around, especially with the quarantine, like it's forced me to do a lot of like fucking self-reflection and everything, especially with not drinking, that I've realized the problems that I've had with it. And my biggest problem with drinking is not having control of it. That's what bothers me. Like I'm the same way. I don't miss drinking. I feel great. I feel better on stage. I feel better in life. But I do miss being sociable and, and drink every now and then. But I don't have it every now and then. My every now and then is like, if I drink today, I'm drinking tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. So like that's probably the hardest time I have to deal with it. But it's funny because you being one of them, and I always say this when people ask me about not drinking, the core of people that come out of nowhere, like, I like you better when you're sober. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, I thought I was great. And they're like, nothing. It's just you're better sober. And you're like, how? I was talking to Maya Mannion. I'm like, because Maya stopped drinking. And I'm like, how bad was I at a show? And
you weren't bad, but you're such and listen to me, our nice moment for a minute on the podcast. You're such a sharp, wonderful person. You're so quick. You're a polarizing person. Since the day I met you, you're someone when I go in a room and I know I'm alpha and polarizing. I walk in a room, I pay attention to you. And you're someone that gives this wonderful vibe and you make people feel good. When you're drinking, your mood kind of changes with that, and you're the kind of person that other people's mood can change around you. You are that kind of person. And when you're sober and you're focused and you're feeling good, there's nobody fucking funnier. I've always said that. I think you're fucking hilarious when you're sharp and you're going. You always were funny. You're killing it when you're not drinking at all. But also, you just make everyone else feel good, and it seems you're such a great guy that the drinking's kind of like, you're poisoning this fucking awesome thing. Like, if you're drinking, you're a burger, but when you're fucking sober, you got bacon, motherfucker, and bacon makes you better. You got to have bacon on your Rivera burger.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that because that's funny.
I know I'm a better person, way better person. I have less friends now, but that's a reason why for me I do that. Now the funny thing is, I was reflecting. I was saying, you know what? I sit alone and I go, no one's reaching out to me, but I never reach out and I never respond. So right before this started, I was like, I'm going to start reaching out. I messaged you. We were talking about I'm going to start reaching out to people. And then the world ended. I'm like, oops, maybe I'm not supposed to. So I was like, maybe that was me. Maybe for a minute, I'm like, maybe I'm ruining the balance of the world by me reaching out to people. All of a sudden, it's like the world's like, no. If you're going to be friendly, we have to kill off at least 90,000 people. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, where can people follow you, see your shit, all that stuff?
My website, put all my announcements at DarrenRivera.com. Follow me, Rice and Bean Joker on Instagram, Darren Rivera on Facebook.
The FlamboyantMidget.com will be coming soon.
Coming soon, Flamboyant Midget. Be aware.
What sucks, I have to learn how to spell this because that's definitely the name of the podcast.
I'm already on my phone. I'm already putting the post of like, I'm going to do it. Like, and it's just, I laugh to myself because I just picture being at a show with you and being like, really? So you're selling the Flamboyant Midget shirts? And I'm like,
by the way, I still bring you up as that.
Yeah.
This guy to say, put your hands together for the Flamboyant Midget. Beezy, a.k.a. the Flamboyant Midget.
Beezy.
From my favorite names. Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me, man. This is awesome, man. We'll be on stage sooner than.
I don't know about that.
I don't think it's gonna be sooner than later. I just said to Jess Miller yesterday, 2 days ago. I was like, I don't think it's gonna be until after the summer. But I do look forward to, if we're allowed to have more restrictions. Like, I'd rather just get together with comics. That's one thing I did learn about this. Like, I wouldn't mind.
But I'll get together with you.
Well, I mean, working, like me and Rafi talked about it. I'm like, Raf, I don't mind driving out to Mass to shoot the shit with you, and we might get something out of it, than to hang out with people that are just going to annoy the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? Like, my career is so much more my focus now, finally. And it's weird because you're doing it for so long, and now I'm like, this is what I should have been doing when I was in Hartford when I first started. But I was always wrapped up.
The one thing I've learned by my reflections and things like that is that you wouldn't be who you are now if you didn't have those times. You can say that, but you wouldn't develop into the Darren Rivera now if you didn't have the Darren Rivera in Hartford then. So you can't say that. You can't just say if I was doing that then, you might have gone a different path. Something else might have changed. Maybe it wouldn't have worked out. You wouldn't have found who you were. So to me, I had to have divorces in my life, drinking in my life, failures in my life, jobs go away. All these things happen for me to become the guy I like now. Because if this thing didn't happen, if this breakup didn't happen, if this heartbreak didn't happen, if this loss didn't happen, all these things didn't happen, and these wins also didn't happen, I wouldn't be me. So fuck it. I can't control the shit that happened before. Just control the shit now. Yeah, so just go out there. Everyone just go out there, grab yourself a midget, and reach for the stars. That's what I'm saying.
Make sure they're flamboyant.
Oh yeah, you don't want one of those flame retarded midgets.
You don't want one of those where you're like, oh really, you're gay? I didn't know that. I was still stuck on the midget thing.
Oh, I guess his catchphrase would be "wee," because he's wee and he's little. So on that note, thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Pat.